Hello everybody and welcome to another edition of Magic Mics, proudly sponsored by Manapool. Manapool.com is a fast-growing marketplace for Magic the Gathering that makes buying and selling cards easy. Their optimizer helps you get the best value when buying cards, and the team is focused on making it a great experience whether you're looking to buy a whole commander deck or selling off some extra cards. Use the promo manapool.com/promo/magicmics to get 5,000 mana. That's $5 for free while supplies last. I'm Evan Irwin. We get started each week by saying hello to my two co-hosts, PowrDragn.
What's up, everybody? And I don't know if Aang can save the world, but damn if these new cards aren't going to help him.
The new cards are dope. The internet's Reuben Wrestler.
I hope so. And at least this will be a good way to teach how to play Magic the Gathering with all these lessons.
Yeah, true.
And seeking out masters and things like that.
You know, I have noticed that they have gone pretty deep in the well when it comes to making avatar cards. We've got a lot of avatar. We got the whole thing. We got the bonus sheet. We got the new player thing or whatever with its own symbol that has its own bunch of cards over there. Like, it's wild.
There's 60 episodes of the show.
Right.
There's 300 cards in the set. Right? So, like, you're going to have to go pretty deep. Every character with a speaking line is going to get a card. You know, it's not quite as deep of a well as the entire history of Marvel Comics for Marvel superheroes, but it's about as deep, if not deeper, than like Spider-Man and, I don't know, Lord of the Rings.
Yeah. We're going to get the whole set on Arena, and I'm very, very happy.
That's very cool. I'm glad we don't have to deal with like mismatched name garbage anymore.
Sure.
And that reminds me that next week, that's going to be the preview for Avatar on Arena. You can see it right here on this channel. You can see it on PowrDragon's channel. We'll be playing throughout the day. He'll be doing, I think, more constructed stuff. I'll likely be doing more limited stuff. If Reuben hops on, he'll be doing limited stuff, which will be lots of fun. And we can check that out. The set is looking pretty sweet. And last week, of course, we want to pick it up here. If you missed our pre-show, patrons get access to our extended version right after this. And we kick it off with that first pick of the new Avatar cards. Since last Wednesday, they, of course, unveiled a lot of really cool stuff. Reuben, what is your first card to talk about?
So the first card I want to talk about is one of those new lessons, and it's an effect that I'm not sure we've ever seen at instant speed, much less on a lesson, and that is Elemental Teachings. Ooh. Elemental Teachings is 4 generic and a green for an instant lesson. It's a rare in the set that says, search your library for up to 4 land cards with different names and reveal them. An opponent chooses 2 of those cards, put the chosen cards onto the into your graveyard, and the rest onto the battlefield tapped, then shuffle. So this is Hour of Promise at instant speed, almost. This is Realms Uncharted, which is a $15 to $20 card, but it puts the lands onto the battlefield. And because this is at instant speed, you can do something very interesting with Dark Depths. So Dark Depths, Vesuva, I think it's Echoing Cave or something like that. And there's another
Echoing Deeps.
Echoing Deeps.
Yeah.
So it's Echoing Deeps, Vesuva, Dark Depths, and another one, and you're guaranteed to get a Dark Depths token at the end of the turn at instant speed, which is not nothing.
That's pretty dope. I think the fact that this is instant is the most powerful word on this card, essentially.
Yeah, by far.
EOT, I'm gonna do something dumb. You can't stop it. I can untap and just do it again, and you've already wasted your interaction with this, essentially.
Yeah, it's a really interesting card. I mean, and I think the Realms Uncharted is probably the closest thing to this. But yeah, it's just cool. I mean, they did price it right, so it's not absurd. You know, it's at 5 mana, so you either have to ramp up or do some things to make it worth it. So it probably keeps it from getting too out of hand, but the card is still just really damn good. Yeah. I mean, hard to I could see a lot of decks where you might play 1 or 2 copies of this, a little restricted because of the cost, but man, the upside's really high on a card like this.
Yeah, this is the type of card that if they do bring back Learn, as I kind of think / hope they will in Strixhaven, this is going to be a really cool lesson you can kind of go and get if you've got, those Bajuka Bog type lands to kind of go and toolbox your way out of a problem, which I think is really neat.
It's cool to get landfall triggers in the middle of your opponent's turn.
Yeah,
like there's lots of fun stuff to be able to do here.
Yeah, this card is super duper rad. Reuben, what's your next card?
There would be a revolt, an Earth Kingdom revolt, in fact, if I didn't talk about the Walls of Ba Sing Se. The Walls of Ba Sing Se, we haven't gotten to Ba Sing Se in our watch through yet,
Right.
but I'm interested to see what you guys have to say about the Walls of Ba Sing Se once we get to it. Because is it worthy of the title? 8 generic mana for a legendary artifact creature wall that's an 0/30. 0/30 defender, and other permanents you control have indestructible. Like, it isn't just an 0/30 with defender. No, no, no. Other permanents you control have indestructible.
This like is like the biggest flavor win I think I've seen in so long. Like this is nuts. What like, this just clearly tells you a story of how awesome these walls are, like in the story, how what it means to the city and so on to be protected.
Yep.
030 has never gotten close to being on a magic card before. So like of all the numbers, that's a hell of a number. And you can do really dumb things with this that with the cards that care about toughness or whatever.
Yep.
And
So you can do stuff with like
I
Jaws
mean-
of Stone and sacrifice it, or gain 30 life with Felithar. There's a lot of good stuff.
Yeah, I think the closest thing is we just had what is it, the tortoise, adamant tortoise, or whatever that
Yeah.
thing is called.
Adamant
it's like
twice.
Yeah, and it's like a 827 or something, like some dumb number. So it's like that's the closest we've had to a 30 toughness thing. I mean,
Yeah.
that's such a big number to see on a magic card,
Right?
you know? But yeah, it's
It's-
cool. I think the only thing that slows it down is just the 8 mana. But if you find a way to trick this onto the battlefield, like this is hard to deal with.
Yeah. And it's also flavorful in that there are ways around the Walls of Ba Sing Se. And it's, as Magic players, we are very easily able to identify, oh, if I have an unblockable creature, if I dig under the tunnel,
Right.
if I death touch the tunnel,
If I Doomblade
Right?
the tunnel, like
if I Doomblade the
Yeah,
tunnel, there are ways to deal with the Walls of Ba Sing Se. But what the Walls of Ba Sing Se are good at, they are the best at ever by a wide margin.
Yeah, this is the type of mythic that I just love in that it's super duper flavorful. It's really cool. Like you can tell why it's a mythic. It feels mythic. Giant numbers, big effect. Like one of those cards that you would show to someone new to Magic, be like, look at this thing, and they're like, oh my god, 30 toughness, like, and that's really awesome. I love those types of cards. I think,
dude, we used to be excited with Crawworm once upon a time.
I know.
Like, you know what? I'd have lost my mind at a 30 toughness creature.
I know. That's what I'm saying. We've been so jaded as Magic players.
Yeah.
Like, look, guys, those numbers are huge and ridiculous, and I love it.
Yeah, every big creature that's just like giant creature with trample, giant creature with even double strike is going to have a tough time getting through
Yeah,
the Walls of Ba Sing
you don't
Se.
even care. You're like,
It's like, yeah,
8/8
attack
double
me
strike.
with your,
Bring
yeah,
it,
your
son.
exactly. Your 10/10 with trample, your 8/8 with double strike. Nobody cares. Your 1/1 with death touch. Well, we'll work on that. Your 1/1 with flying. All right, we'll work with those.
I appreciate Granada's shoot the sheriff the tunnel.
Yeah,
Yeah,
sure.
exactly.
Do it. All right. Very, very cool.
I mean, somebody's got to be in charge of the walls. There could be a sheriff.
yeah, again, what's getting through an 030? Like, you're going to have to
Yeah.
do something about it. I guess we're going to keep on with the Ba Sing Se stuff here. PowrDragn, what's your first card?
We are, and I didn't know we were going to be doing that initially when I selected the card, but
it worked
yeah,
out.
just the land, straight up Ba Sing Se. Like this, first off, I read it and went, huh, name
Yeah.
land that's not legendary. Great. And I can have these possibly enter the battlefield untapped if you have a basic land. Great. So now I don't even get the downside of it having to be tapped. That's awesome. And then it still taps for green mana, so I get colored mana out of it. And then I can pay 2 and a green and tap it and just Earthbend 2. Has to be done as a sorcery, but whatever. That's usually when I activate my creature lands anyway. So yeah, to me, this might be my choice if I'm playing, especially like mono green or something like that. Like just having a land that could be your new creature land, but you get your option of either making more creatures or just making a bigger creature. And then if their land goes away, you just get it back anyway. So I'm like, yeah, I'm here for it. I would venture to guess the main reason that you have to activate it as a sorcery is so you can't do it on itself. And then if they tried to destroy it, you just get it back. So like I think that's the biggest issue there.
Mm.
But yeah, this is actually just a sweet card. I'm definitely going to be playing this thing.
Wait, so this can put counters on itself?
It does say target land, and it is a land, so
That's
Yeah.
interesting. That's
That's
kind of
fine.
cool. I
Right.
like
Yep.
that.
like
Well,
wouldn't
protect yourself from all those like demolition fields and things like that.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
I thought
Mhm.
I figured the sorcery restriction for me is so at the end of your turn you don't just get to make your thing bigger,
Well, yeah.
your stuff bigger. Like the cool thing about Earthbend to understand is that you can target the same land over and over. You don't have to just make a
Mhm.
2/2 and I gotta make this other 2/2 over here. No, you can just make it a 2/2 and the 4/4 and the 6/6 and just keep going. And the fact that it has this insurance policy built around the entire mechanic is kind of amazing. I love that. Like you can't do it wrong, you can't screw it up, and you can't mana screw yourself accidentally.
Yep.
That's brilliant. I just think that's
Now-
fantastic.
Can I interest you in this alongside a wasteland?
Ooh.
Ooh.
Okay, so
See, now we're
So
talking.
two
Now
generic-
we're talking.
so for 2 generic and a green, we get an automatic. I mean, it's no worse than Ramanop Excavator, right?
No,
So
it's-
yeah,
That's
you
fair.
can interest
That's
me in
fair.
it.
It's
But
okay.
but
It's okay.
this is
Yeah.
a Ramanop Excavator that you have to pay retail on, and you can get both halves of it back with a life from the loam. So yes, you can talk me into this. You can talk me into this minivan today for sure.
You can
This
talk me
one's a
into
good
this on a fetch land, right?
Mhm.
Like, thank you, Arju.
Yeah,
I
ooh,
think-
fetch
for
lands.
sure.
Yeah, that's a good one actually.
Right?
Yeah.
Arju from the chat on that one. Yeah, I love that idea.
Yeah, yeah.
I think this is cool. Like this is going to be your one of in every green deck in standard until it goes away. There's just no.
Oh, not even
downside.
one of. I'm going 2 or 3 on these and a lot.
Right,
of,
this one's-
especially if I'm
this
mono,
one's not-
minimum.
It's
because
not
all I need
legendary.
is forest to get it untapped.
Right.
Yeah.
All I'm saying is your minimum one, probably 2-ish, 3-ish, who knows?
For sure.
I'm just saying there's absolutely no drawback for one of these in your deck. There's just not. I mean, it's just going to do something late if you need it. It's not going to screw you because if you'd only have one in your deck, you can never get stuck with 2 in your opening hand, for example. You know what I mean? Like there's ways that this doesn't hurt you ever. And I just love this.
Yeah, like my opponent sweeps the board, and I'm just like, well, I only drew land, whatever. Let's turn one of these lands into a creature, attack for
Yeah.
2.
For
You
sure.
know, like great.
Yeah, my favorite is being able to target the same one over and over again. I think that's really
Mhm.
important because a lot of times these types of effects and abilities would say, target non-creature land, gets
Yeah.
counters and blah 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 blah. No, I can just keep
And-
building and building and building.
And in 15 turns, you can take out the walls.
That's true.
It only
Boston
takes
Say
15
can
turns.
take out its own walls.
Also, if
That's
you're just,
right.
I would just say if you're earthbending in general already too, this is just a nice additive piece,
Yeah,
right? You're
for
already
sure.
making lands 4/4 and 6/6 or whatever. You're like, great, have 2 more, get in there and
Right.
fight.
If you're trying to make Ang work,
Yeah,
you're just like, all right,
True.
I need to earthbend one of these times. Like, I don't want to put a whole spell in my deck to make another creature. I might as well just put it on a land. It'll work there.
Yeah, I
Yep.
think that's great, and the fact that like people are coming up with more interesting or weird ways to use this, I think is brilliant. Again, that whole insurance policy around the mechanic is not something I think it's something we kind of see more and more of. This is sort of the bestow thing where you can't do it wrong, and
Yep.
I just love that. Make all the mechanics feel that way because they can't accidentally sort of screw you over and provide that
Yeah.
big negative feeling. I think that's brilliant. All right, PowrDragn, what's your next card?
my next one kind of surprised me actually. It's the Beifong's Bounty Hunters. 2 green black for a 4/4 human mercenary. Whenever a non-land creature you control dies, you get to earthbend X, where X is that creature's power.
Hmm.
Like, this is the best insurance against sweepers. Like, you're literally just play a creature every turn, play this guy, your opponent sweeps the board. You're like, great. I probably have now like a 4/4, 2/3/3s, and a 1/1 or something. Still attacking, right? Like this is great. Like, I literally read it 3 or 4 times, and I'm like,
Huh.
I can just each of these, and it's just equal to their power.
It counts
like,
itself. It
yes.
counts itself.
Yes,
That's wild. Yeah. And it's a
That-
4/4 for 4.
I
Right.
know. That's what I'm saying. I read it so many times. I'm like, there has to be somewhat of a downside here, right?
Yeah.
And like
Am
I
I
was
just
And
saying,
it's a mercenary, so we can go get it with Cataran summons in Legacy.
Sure.
you can use
why
that
not?
blue enchantment to make copies of it when you play it.
Sure.
That'd be rad. Look, all I'm saying is like you again, as I literally was just saying, you can put all the counters on one land. Like, oh, my 2/2, my 1/1, and this 4/4, and so. Oh, I have an
Now I
8/8
have
land.
Yeah. Exactly. There you
But
go.
worst case
Get you.
scenario, with all the spot removal, the sacrifice stuff, whatever, you're like, great. Now you can just play creatures and go, whatever, it dies. I still get a 3/3 land.
Right?
Yeah.
You know, like who cares?
Now we're only halfway through the series in our watch through, and we only met these two gentlemen at the very end of Toph's first episode when Toph's
Yeah.
parents
Hmm.
were Toph Beifong. Her parents were like, "Go find him." Who knows if they're going to show up again? I can't imagine why there would be
I
a rare in
wonder.
this set that has anything to do
Yeah,
with that.
exactly.
Weird. No, that's great, man. I think this card is just super rad, and I love earthbending and all things earthbendy. And yeah, this is one of those where you just read it. For me, it was I read it and I was like, it doesn't count itself. Oh my god, it counts itself. You
Literally,
know?
I did the same thing. I was like, zero downside. Like you have nothing else. You play this card, they kill it, you still have a 4/4.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And in fact, a 4/4 that's usually harder to deal with because a lot of spells
Exactly.
say non-land whatever. You can't, boomerang or whatever, a non-land thing most of the time, and that's just what you're going to be stuck with. I think that's
Yep.
great. Oh man, that card is rad. I'm looking forward to seeing it in the story. Pop back up. Should be fun. All right. Moving on here to my first card. This card is really cool, and I think, of all of the bendings, I think it may be harder to wrap your head around airbending than the others. I'm not exactly sure. It just feels like, I think there's a secret sort of power level to this that will be seen through gameplay more than me kind of saying, like, I think this is rad. Like, I think playing this mechanic is going to help the most versus, like, I think, earthbending is like, really good. So, anyway, my pick here is Avatar's Wrath. This card is really, really cool. Avatar's Wrath is 2 white, 2 generic mana, Wrath mana, if you will. It's a sorcery, it's rare. And you choose up to 1 target creature. You can choose 0, and then airbend all other creatures. You exile them. While each one is exiled, its owner may cast it for 2 generic mana rather than its mana cost. However, until your next turn, your opponents can't cast spells from anywhere other than their hands. Then you exile Avatar's Wrath. This means their creatures cannot come back for at least a whole full turn of you being able to A, keep the 1 creature that was yours that you chose to keep around. B, it is airbending all of the other creatures, including yours, so you can play them back for 2 generic mana and get all those cool triggers again. You don't have that response. You don't have that restriction that they do. And in a multiplayer game, I can imagine this is going to be very impactful in a world where everybody else's stuff is gone, but that one thing you like, and they can't play into their stuff until you have a whole other turn.
Yeah.
Man, I love this card and I hate this card. like love it in the sense that if you are the aggressor, it does open up some doors for some very cool stuff to go down.
Mm-hmm.
So like love that part. Hate the fact that we have to have more wrath effects in standard because oh my god, we have like 30 of them right now. And this set has I think 3 more already. But man, this card's actually really cool. It honestly allows you to do some stuff differently than anything else we've really had as far as any type of sweeper or tempo card. And this actually reminds me. Let me go ahead and make a pitch right here for our sponsor Mana Pool, because if you go over to manapool.com/promo/magic mics, you can get a free $5, which you could probably consider spending on some Doc Arlocks right now. Because there's a lot of stuff with airbending, and Doc Arlock makes your stuff cost 2 less from exile. Just saying, that card's going to be really cool, and they're really cheap right now. I don't think they will be in the future.
Yeah, Doc Arlock makes all your airbend cards free. That's pretty good.
Yeah.
Ooh, that's pretty rad. Yeah, I think that's cool. I think it's, to me, it's tough to make a wrath, type of effect that's interesting or different or unique. And I love how it really works, with the show and Avatar Wrath and the scene and so on. So thematically it works, flavorfully it works, but it's got such a really cool, unique way of saying, like, it's not killing them, it's not actually
right.
wrathing. You'll get them back later if you want. You can pay for them, but for a minute, it's my go. It's my turn.
And it might even have a little bit of a downside, right? Like some of your
Right.
opponents might have cool enter the battlefield stuff. So
But it's a really good tempo wrath. Like there's an arena card that does something similar to this for small creatures. And this is sort of a big version of it where it also gets rid of big creatures. But I mean, if you're getting rid of 1-drops, then it's actually taxing them.
Yeah,
Much less
for
2-drops,
sure.
you're just time walking. So, against an aggro deck that's trying to curve out on you, this is a great wrath.
Yeah, I'll take it. That's cool. All right, let's take a look here at the second card I want to talk about. It came out today. And this was a card that was teased in the in MaRo's article on Tumblr, where he talks about, here's some sentences from the cards and so on. And one of them he said, well, non-basic lands are mountains, and we're like, oh,
Yeah.
that's only going to happen until end of turn. It's going to be some cute little effect, and it's the moon thing and so on. That's cool. Oh no, no, it's way more interesting and better than
Yeah.
that. I think this is rad. Zhao the Moonslayer is a red and generic mana for a rare legendary human soldier. It's a 2/2, so 2 mana 2/2. Has menace, which is not nothing.
Yeah.
Non-basic lands enter tapped. First of all, I love that as a red mechanic. I think that's cool. 7 generic mana colon. Put a conqueror counter on Zhao. As long as Zhao has a conqueror counter on him, non-basic lands are mountains. He does bring
Yeah.
out the Blood Moon. We have Blood Moon at home. We have Blood
Yeah.
Moon on a stick. We have Magus, kinda. Magus,
Yeah.
sorta on the moon. Look, all I'm saying is I think this is cool. I think Conqueror counters are super rad. I think this is one of the coolest 2-drops I've seen in a while that isn't
For
just...
sure.
They don't always have to be like the most efficient beaters of all time. They can be really cool, clever. Do note this hits your own non-basic lands. Sometimes that
It does.
matters. But most of the time, at least these days, non-basic lands have just been everywhere. Free use, do whatever you want. Yeah, they had that Sphinx or that Lynx or whatever that kind of punished you, but that's it? No.
Yeah.
No, now you have something aggressively cheap that could mess with your mana base for all these people who are playing non-basic lands.
Yeah. Also, this is a great way to take advantage of all that extra firebending mana, which is very
Yep.
flavorful with Zhao also.
Perfect.
So if you play Zhao and then like have a Sozin's Comet turn, or you have a couple firebending students in play, very flavorful way to use all of that extra firebending mana.
Love it.
And really encapsulates the end of season 1 of Avatar.
Yeah, between this and I think we get a couple of really good 2 mana cards in the set creatures that are great.
Yeah.
And honestly, this could be one of those cards that mono red decks are playing that never had the intention of even turning this
Mhm.
into a blood moon. Like just making your opponent's lands in a battlefield tapped slows them up enough so you're not getting wrath on turn 4 or 5, right? They don't
Yeah,
get to
for
play their
sure.
best creature to block your stuff. And it has menace. So alongside some of the other cards, like now it just becomes hard to block on top of stopping bonus damage. So like yeah, this card actually is just playable even if you never even get to the blood moon portion.
Yeah,
And
like we've seen Thalia, Ascendant, Evencar. We've seen things like Kinjali Sunwing or Clarion Conqueror, whatever these like 2 and 3 mana white disruptive pieces that make things enter tapped. We now have one in mono red, which is someplace we usually don't get that kind of proactive Death and Taxes style disruption.
Yeah,
For sure.
I love how this kind of, the sort of the pressure of this card. This is a card that you can bring it in from the sideboard when you're on the play, so you can try to get it down early, particularly against the control decks. And when the control decks, like, you're there, you maybe have him and another threat, you're sitting there, you're going, and they're watching your mana, and you're getting closer to 7 mana, or you playing a firebending card, and you're getting closer to that 7 mana, and if you get that Blood Moon off, that's a serious problem for a control deck. So now that pressure is on them to use those resources, and if you replace him as soon as he dies, that pressure comes back all over again. So like I think that's really cool. That push and pull of that nature I think is sweet.
The push and pull, the twee and law
If you
of
will,
of
Uh-huh.
the yeah.
yes,
Because
The
that's who's in
secret.
the bag. That's who's in the bag in the art.
That is who is in the bag. So I think that's sweet. But yeah, I don't know if this is going to be like a commander, like commander, but I can see it more constructed than a commander card.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely more 60 card, I think.
Yeah. But as a 60 card, I think it's really cool. And the fact that they didn't make just like Blood Moon till end of turn or thing, whatever, is cool. Instead, they made it super flavorful, super unique to the Avatar world. Everything makes sense there. Like, this is the type of card like you can show people and like, let me tell you the story of why this is so cool. And when you do,
Yeah, and
they will get it. Like, I think that's awesome.
and I think it's a totally fair blood moon effect, right? You have to work for it. Like if you get all the fire bending and it pops off on like turn 5 and you blood moon, all right, fine. But you kept a bunch of creatures alive to trigger the fire bending that also allowed you to do that. So like that's okay.
Yeah, I'm curious how fast you can sort of firebend. You know what I mean? Like throw down Zhao, next turn firebend guy, next turn fire off the thing. Is that a thing you can do? I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, Sozin's
Around
Comet is the one that sticks out to me. If you foretell a Sozin's Comet, Man, it's just saying plot points from the show is so funny. But
I
if
feel
you,
like I should be
yeah,
doing more though if I'm like getting the Sozin's comment. I want to be doing even more than
sure,
just
Right.
the
The
blood
just
I
mooning.
the blood
agree.
moon thing, yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah. That sounds crazy to say. I want to be doing more than just blood mooning, but
Sure.
like I want to be doing
Some
something
big
bigger
X
with all that
spell.
mana.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah,
The
but I think it's a good, it's something that you're already playing. It's a card that's in your deck anyway, right? Like we're playing this for its disruptive element
Mhm.
as a 2/2 with menace. And every once in a while, we're also shutting off every land.
Yeah, there's a. I think it's really neat to have these types of designs in the deck, and let's keep them low mana, but they're interesting, and see where they go. I love that.
Yeah,
For red cards are not just like again, just stat sticks. Just
right.
oh, it's got prowess, and oh, it's got haste or whatever. Like no, it can do stuff. I like that. All right, let's move out of the first pick here to gather the townsfolk. Thanks to our sponsor, Mana Traders, your best tool to enhance your Magic Online experience. Use the code MagicMikes_4CI. Yes, it changed. MagicMikes_4CI for 10% off your next subscription with Mana Traders. Tell them we sent you, and we appreciate them.
Yeah.
We're going to move on here to gather the townsfolk, where Mark Rosewater just celebrated 30 years at Wizards, which is incredible. That's hard to say, really.
Yeah.
I mean, my God, I think I just passed 20 years of content creation myself. So to me, it's also wild to see that 2/3 of his career, I've basically been talking and or critiquing it
Right.
constantly.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's pretty
It's the thing
good.
I could say. Wee. But yeah, congrats to Mark, man. I think that's awesome. Such an incredible milestone.
I mean, what's wild to me is next year I'll be able to say I've technically worked in the business side of the game industry for 30 years.
Wow.
Like that's
Yeah.
crazy to me to say out loud.
It is,
But for
it is. Yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
yeah, for him to just be at one company, for anybody to be at any game company for that long is actually almost unheard of these days.
Oh yeah.
Like you're either moving on to something else or you've made enough money, you just moved on and don't want to do it anymore. So we've seen a bunch of other people also at Wizards either retire, move on to other jobs, or whatever. And he's been kind of the I won't say linchpin, but the stalwart that's kind of held the fort, been there the whole time. So
Mhm.
good for him, and appreciate him because he's probably not going to be there another 10 years, I wouldn't imagine. Like he's
Right.
in a good enough place. He could retire whenever he wants to, I think, though, at this point.
Right.
Yeah. It's crazy to think that he's been there for that long, but it's also crazy to think that he wasn't there at the beginning,
Hmm.
right?
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
it's easy to forget that he was not an initial employee. And so, in all of that, I mean, obviously, kudos and incredible congratulations. And they printed a hilarious, like,
Oh, this T-shirt thing's
the
awesome.
t-shirt. The t-shirt's
It's on the
very
screen
Yeah.
right
cool.
now. Yeah. His 30-year tour, which goes over every set that I think he led. Is that correct? He led
Yeah.
the
It's
Yeah.
every set
symphonies
it's either that he led or that he worked on. I
that he
can't
worked
remember
on.
which, but
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, and I mean, it starts at Tempest and ends with Aether Drift, and that's as far as it can go in terms of when they made the shirt. But that's still like just the incredible run, all the innovations and things like his making magic articles, his podcasting at this point. It's sort of just become legendary,
Yep.
and one of those things where it's hard to say. Which year was the best one, but also you can say with this huge breadth of work, this huge timeline, what an accomplishment is just incredible. Where we are
And
when he started Tempest to where we are today with Aether Drift.
I also want to say one of the things
Hello, everybody. Welcome to
Rosewater
another.
embodies that we get spoiled with as Magic players is we have direct contact with the people that make the product,
Right.
right? A lot of games don't have that level of access.
Yeah.
And even if you see Rosewater in person, he is completely what you think he's going to be. He will take every picture, sign
Mhm.
everything. He will talk to you about Magic till your ears fall off. Like even when I was at Wizard, we jokingly said that like Magic's his extra child. Like I mean, like that's how much he's into it. So yeah, we're very lucky to have him as part of our community for sure.
Yeah, I mean, I've got to interact with him. I've known him since 2009 for the Invitational there back then, and like he is as a genuine and awesome person as he ever was then, now, and since, and it's great. So to
And he
have
doesn't have
someone,
an indoor voice, by the way. He sounds like that all
Right.
the time.
I used to do-
The volume's up here.
I used to do a Mark Rosewater impression on the show. I think I've lost it. I don't have the I don't think I have the range anymore.
For a long time, you had it, and it was
Yeah.
pretty good, pretty fun. All right, let's move on here to Desperate Ravings, where we rant about things and stuff. And PowrDragn, you have a secret lair solution. What is that?
Yes, mostly because we keep seeing these sellouts on Secret Lair within, I was going to say 2 hours or less, but hell, some of them been like 15, 20 minutes.
Yeah.
And my complaint has always been that there are people who are like, because first off, we're getting these licenses for movies, animated series, whatever, that are supposed to bring fans in and have a cool thing for fans to buy.
Right.
But there are genuinely people who never have the opportunity to buy it based on either their time zone, or they don't get a lunch break at the right time, or they can't have their phone on their sales floor, whatever it is.
Right.
So we're not even giving, WotC isn't giving themselves a chance to make the most money off the product. So while I was coming back from Vegas, I'm just on the plane contemplating different stuff, listening to music or whatever, and making notes on things. And Secret Lair crossed my mind. And I was like, there's got to be a way to fix this that makes everybody happy.
There has to
There
be a better
has
way.
to be a better way.
Exactly. Y'all get it. But here's my solution, and I think it works. Starting from the basis of, if they want to pre-print some things, like everything has a print date. So let's say Secret Lair widgets is going to print on Thursday next week, right?
Sure.
So 72 hours before, which would be Monday, we make an order window that's 24 hours, 9 a.m. to 9 a.m. So everybody, no matter what your situation is, you have one full day to go make the order. There'll still be some bit of FOMO because people will forget or they'll ignore emails or whatever. That's fine. That's on you. That's not Wizards' problem at that point. Wizards gets to make way more money because you maximize your window for everybody who wants to order it. And then you still have a full 48 hours to get whatever those 24 hours worth of orders are over to the production facility. You print them like you were normally going to print them. You don't have to disrupt your printing schedule because they were already going to go to print that day. And then everybody probably has to wait, I'm assuming, probably still about 6 weeks to get your stuff, but that's fine. Like, everybody gets it. You get it in 6 weeks instead of 2, but everybody's happier. You make more money. Fans get more of what they want. Like, why would we not want to do this?
All right, devil's advocate.
Yeah.
I'm just going to throw it out there.
It's not even devil's advocate, because you have the experience with logistics and shipping as well. So I want to hear what your feedback is.
Sure.
Well, my end on it is actually the marketing. You know what the exact right amount to print of any Magic set ever is? It's 90% of demand. The fact that you print just not quite, just almost enough, means some people missing out, and
but we're not even close to that number right now.
However, okay, so what I'm saying is they've already done print to demand stuff before with Secret Lairs. They've tried the print to demand, not exactly the way you described it, but they have tried print to demand, buy as many as you want in this time period, and whatever, we'll print whatever we got, and that's cool, and that seems to have worked to some degree. But I also feel like they've done enough of these experiments, enough of them ways of skinning the cat, where they're like, look, this is the best and most profitable way Secret Lair can work, which is we set a number, we bring the FOMO, make sure you're there, be there early, try to get in line. Good luck. If you don't get it, God doesn't.
I hear what you're saying, but that doesn't work. Like, literally every time, and I'm not even talking like, not even like hyperbolic here, like literally every time, I see tons of people that are just like, yeah, I don't even bother because I know I'm not going to have a chance to get it. So, like, there are people that genuinely want these, and you're nowhere near the 90%. And hell, I'm guilty. Like, I'm at home working from home, and I'm just like, man, sometimes I have meetings I'm in or whatever. Like, I just can't be in line in the queue to go get stuff.
Yeah.
And for some of these recent ones, I would have bought 2, 3, 4 of them. But you're getting 0 of my dollars because of the way the current system's set up. Like,
but,
it's terrible right now.
Talk is kind of cheap. Again, just trying to be on the business side of things. Even if somebody says they would have bought it, and they were going to buy it.
And the other system, I agree, when they were doing printing to order, I think the problem was your windows are too big.
Could be.
Like, some of those were open for like 2 weeks sometimes.
For a long time.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. Just 24 hours, you'll still get FOMO. There's still going to be people who miss it or forget or whatever.
Right.
But you're going to get way more money out of it.
I mean, again,
I can't see how you don't.
Well,
like,
the thing is,
genuinely.
Right now they have brought a fervor to the release of these Secret Lairs. Like, you know what I'm saying? And over time, if you do it the way you explained it, you bring less and less, importance to ordering early. And you're like, oh well, I'll put it, I'll do it later. I'll do it tomorrow. I'll do it right before it closes. Yeah, you know what I mean? Like that can bring less hype or excitement than the way it's doing now. Not that I'm saying it's perfect. I'm just saying that like it does bring a lot of excitement and hype for that.
I think
Very
the other
particular
side of it
moment
is way more exciting because you get more people when they get their mail day, opening it up, showing it off. Oh, I'm excited to put this into my deck or whatever. Where you're not getting a lot of that right now with a bunch of the stuff because I don't know where they're going, but I don't see a lot of people opening them or doing stuff with them.
It's hard to prove how many people aren't buying the product. You know what I'm saying?
Sure,
That's our
sure, I
problem.
agree with that.
Just that we don't know that
But
information.
when I see the number of people I do that genuinely, and some of them used to buy a lot of them
Sure.
and quit buying them once we started getting these like, quick sellouts or whatever. Like some portion, even if a third of them are being honest and would buy more, that's still a lot of money left on the table. And like I said, you have a whole swath of people that genuinely can never buy it. Like even
Yeah.
if they want to, there's no opportunity for them to do so.
Right.
Like they literally don't have the timing or the work environment or whatever that allows them to even make the purchase. That's where I think the biggest flaw is right now, because there's a whole chunk of the fandom, whether it's Magic or new fans, that actually can't buy it even if they wanted to.
Yeah.
And
That's where the money I think they're missing.
right, and have a little bit of inside baseball here for folks. Wizards does sell secret layers to distributors and to stores in large volumes. Like they do have excess. Remember when they had that secret layer for a
Sure.
dollar? Like you could buy a secret layer for a dollar, like for the last one. Remember that? They were like,
Mm-hmm.
they're selling secret layers for a dollar. It's like, yeah, because they're in the warehouse, and at some point, just please take
Yeah.
them and go. Like, just take them and go. Right? It
Yeah.
happens. But agreed. There's a certain amount of fervor. You're trying to hit that magical balance, right? You want to just make max money made ever, and it's hard to say
Totally understand what you're saying, but I
what that
think there's
is.
still way more money to be made than what's being left on the table, and it's not close.
I don't know. I mean, again, this is where, to make that type of sort of experiment, right, you have to sort of change the way it's set up, and their processes have to adjust just for at least one of that one time. And
Here again, my argument is there are genuinely people that 100% can't even attempt to buy it if they wanted to under the current system.
And the last question mark of that is that it has to be the right property. If it's a SpongeBob, it's probably going to go insane. You know what I mean? But if
Sure.
it's a Laura Croft or whatever, maybe not as insane. You know what I mean? So like that's the other kind of X factor of we did it this way and we didn't make as much money, therefore this way is bad. Not necessarily. If it had the right IP, the right product, it would have done unbelievable. But
Yeah.
we don't know that, right?
I'm
Question
just
mark.
saying, if you had a 24-hour window on those Venom lands or this last thing they just did or whatever, you're
Yeah,
definitely making more money.
I hope so.
Like there's zero chance they don't make way more money than they did.
All right. Well, that said, let's go ahead and turn the corner here to the finisher. Big election news day, or big election day rather, news in the United States this week as American voters saw governorships change hands, props get approved, and all manner of local matters were voted yay or nay. It's our civic duty to use our voices and our ballots. So tell me, what proposal would you put forward for magic, Reuben?
Well, submitted for your approval, citizens of the gathering, I propose a monthly rotating ban list standard where 5 to 10 cards go on the naughty list for 30 days time and come back off later, and then 10 to 15 more go on and so forth. I call it Magic the Marvel Snappening.
Power
Or
Dragon?
Yu-Gi-Oh is
Or
basically how they
Yu-Gi-Oh!
do.
Is that how Yu-Gi-Oh does it too?
It's like every 6 months or something, but yeah.
Yu-Gi-Oh is wildly weird in that they will ban cards or restrict them down to 2 or 1 copies in your deck so that their new mechanics can shine. They'll make their releasing the cards bad
I
or
don't mind
banned
that.
so they can new stuff can be looking
I
good.
Yeah, their
like that.
rotation is constant on their stuff.
It's
It's a
also
very world.
everything's vintage, so like that's the weird thing.
Uh,
Anyway,
Also true.
Power Dragon.
All right. Creatures and non-creatures of the council. I put forward a solution to an issue, we'll call it, that we've had in the Magic community for ages. A YouTube comment character limit. Because quite frankly, I just ain't got time for all that. Like y'all, some of y'all leave like 5 paragraphs in a YouTube
Yeah.
comment. Like we ain't trying to do that when I got to look at 100 comments, y'all.
In researching the punchline to this joke, it turns out YouTube does have a character limit. Do you want to guess what it is?
Oh, it's got to be huge. It's got to be like 2,000 characters or something.
It is 10,000.
Yeah, it has to be a lot because I've seen some huge comments in my comment
Jesus, I
section.
was thinking like maybe 5K on the very top end. 10,000
It's a lot,
characters?
man.
It's a 10,000 character,
I
yeah,
wasn't
upper
exaggerating when I
limit.
said 4 and 5, like paragraph stuff. Like that's regular that some people post for
Oh
real.
my God. Look, gathered masses prepared to receive the idea of the year. The Magic Show. A weekly recap of the highlights of what happened this week on the internet from Tolarian Community College, game nights, heuristic studies, weekly MTG, clips from Twitch streams, and live events all wrapped up into a 10-minute highlight video. It's like Magic Mike's, but bite-sized for our new micro content world. Yeah.
Reuben, get on that.
I honestly think that would work. I honestly think that
Exactly.
if you had like the highlights in Magic like stuff for the week, that would work.
For sure.
There was somebody during the pandemic, and I wish I remember who it was. It was one of the creators, but he had a Discord where people could share like fun game clips that they had from Magic games, and then he would do like his top 10 in a highlight video or whatever for the week, and then that sort of fell off. But that was a fun thing for a minute.
I mean, I remember
Interesting.
Revised Angels like top tweets of the week from back in the day.
Yes.
Remember that?
Yeah,
I
yeah.
do too.
That was fun. All right, that said, that ends the live episode of Magic Mike's. Thanks for joining us here to discuss all things Magic. Thank you, PowrDragn.
Hey, as always, good to be here, and I'm gonna get back on that YouTube grind.
Ooh, thank you, Reuben.
I'm not gonna get back on that YouTube
He's
grind,
not
but
gonna.
I maybe I should with this idea from the joke, but yeah, thanks for tuning in, everybody, and we'll see you next time.
Yeah, next week, remember, will be the live show or with the live streaming of the Avatar preview on Arena. That's going to be super awesome. Hang out with me for that. That'll be cool, and we'll talk about the week after. Otherwise, join us here next Tuesday, where we will be checking out more episodes of Avatar from 2005, as we're literally halfway through with the series. And we're going to start with Season 2, Episode 11.
Yeah, and go
Yeah.
get your money that Mana Pool is giving away. Literally giving you money. Go get it.
That's right.
Links down in the doobly-doos. Manapool.com/promo/Magic I'm serious. It's some free money. Go get free money. You guys are great. We'll move here to our final slide. I want to thank our primary sponsor, Manapool.com. Go get that good stuff. Our co-sponsor, Mana Traders. My co-host, PowrDragn, Reuben Bressler. Viewers like you for watching or listening. Please follow, like, tweet, favorite, share, subscribe to everything social that tells people we exist. Catch us on our exclusive member Discord, subscribe to our Patreon, watch us on Twitch, join us live or taped on YouTube, or follow us on Blue Sky, or join us here next week. Same time, same place for another episode of Magic Mike's. Good night, everybody.